So you guys just let me know when you think we should start.
I think we should go.
Start? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, we want to be respectful of everyone's time, and it's 5:05 now, so thank you very much, everyone, for coming out tonight. My name is Doreen Kirkmeyer. I'm the Manager of Planning for the City of Rochester. I'm here with a couple colleagues. I'll have them introduce themselves.
Hi, Scott Thompson.
Hi, Scott.
Murphy.
Hi, Evelyn.
And so they're going to be here tonight to help me facilitate. Elizabeth is taking a lot of notes. So, hi there.
Hello.
You're going to hear this presentation again. We've heard it before.
No, I left.
Oh, you left?
I
Okay. So, we're here to talk about the city's comprehensive plan, Rochester 2034. Rochester 2034 is the city's 200th birthday, so we're planning for that. For the 200th birthday of Rochester, and we that makes this plan about a 15-year plan. We anticipate that it'll be done in early 2019. So 2019 to 2034 is 15 years, which is a pretty traditional amount of time that comprehensive plans are for in a community. Communities that do well in the country usually have a pretty strong comprehensive plan. So it's really good for Rochester to go through this exercise, and it's also a great opportunity for us to engage you guys, the community, in planning for Rochester. So the format tonight, you all have an agenda, and essentially I'm going to only talk for about 10 minutes, if that, and then we're going to start doing some dialoguing with you and do some mapping exercises, and start to hear from you about your neighborhood, Lyle Otis. Now, some of you probably seen me before here. I think I came here several months ago to talk about the comprehensive plan, just to introduce you to the process. Introduce myself as the new manager of planning. I just came on board, although I've been with the city almost 30 years, I just came on board as the planning manager in May, so I think I came here and introduced myself. But I also was here before that for the Orchard Whitney project. So, and we can talk about that later if you'd like, if you're interested in where that is. So, Scott's going to move the slides for me, but we want to talk to you a little bit about what's important about a comprehensive plan. Why should you care? So the comprehensive plan is a guidance manual, guideline for decision making. So it's hi, how are you? So it's important for city council in their role for decision making and policy making. It's also, get everybody on that list. It's also good for the land use boards, the zoning board, the planning commission, to have some guidance that's a citywide vision for the city. So really the comprehensive plan is a vision for the community. And by going to all neighborhood associations like we're doing, we're really pulling in a collective vision here for Rochester to move forward. So it guides public policies and priorities on issues such as land use, infrastructure, which is our streets and utilities. It's in park systems. It's also the important for neighborhood revitalization. It talks about transportation, arts and culture, public health and safety. These are all components of a comprehensive plan. So, and the planning process and the document that we end up with is a tool for residents and neighborhoods to, number one, engage in neighborhood planning, but also to help you guys with your own advocacy and your grant writing and the work that you're doing in your community. The plan can certainly support that and help you in that work. Also, the comprehensive plan gives us a chance to brag about ourselves a little bit and talk about all the great city amenities, the great city neighborhoods that make up the city. It gives us a chance to tell our story, where we've come from, where we're going. And we look at data, and we look at our goals, and all of this is pulled together. And it helps us to market Rochester for a great place to live, a great place to do business, a great place to visit. Now, we personally are working very hard towards making the comprehensive plan also very inspirational. Because this is a 15-year plan, it's going to give a vision for how we see ourselves in 15 years. So we want it to be exciting. We want it to be hopeful. We want people to feel very hopeful for Rochester through this vision. And hopefully it'll inspire people to live in the city, stay in the city if you're already here, and inspire you to get involved and just be very excited about the place that you call home. So the planning process is we are, based on the community engagement that we're getting now, we are going to develop a vision, goals, and strategy. So essentially, we're going to develop an action agenda for moving Rochester into 2034. We also are doing, as part of my staff, we're going to be doing best practice research. So we're going to be looking at other cities and what are they doing. What have they done successfully to overcome some issues that maybe we're faced with that we're hearing in the neighborhoods? So as we hear problems or issues in our community, we can look and do research and see what's happening in other cities that we can draw from. We also are working to create an online version of the comprehensive plan and a paper version. So it's going to be kind of fun because it's going to be very dynamic. And when you go onto the website to look at your comprehensive plan for your city, you're going to be able to navigate around to those things that are particularly interesting to you. So it should be kind of fun. It's very cutting edge. It's kind of the new thing for creating documents for the community to use. So we'll have a draft plan sometime late this year is our goal, and then we will be looping back to the community to sort of check in with where we are, how we did with bringing your issues and your vision into the plan. Recognize that we are writing a plan for the entire city, and we are meeting with lots of neighborhood groups and different stakeholder groups. So we'll be in the position of pulling all the issues together, reconciling different competing interests, coming up with recommendations and an action plan, and hopefully you will see yourselves in the plan. You may not see it verbatim what you said here at this meeting, but hopefully you'll see your plan, what you talked about today somewhere in the draft plan. It'll give you a chance to comment on it, and then we'll do a final plan based on our comments. I don't think we're going to come back to each and every neighborhood though with a draft because this is very time consuming for us. We're out 3 nights a week. We're out on Saturdays, and all during the day we're busy with meetings and trying to get everybody involved. What we probably will do is larger, like we'll be coming to the area and hope for several different neighborhoods to come to one, meetings throughout the city. So I'm thinking maybe 5 to 7 meetings total that you'll be invited to. And we will be sure to reach out to you when we're ready for that review. The comprehensive plan goes to the City Planning Commission, which holds a public hearing, so you'll definitely hear about that. And they make a recommendation on whether the project should be approved to City Council, because City Council ultimately does adopt this plan. So you'll be seeing, they also hold a public hearing. And then we'll hold some implementation. We'll start to set up implementation teams, and we are going to sit down and champion this plan and work with our neighborhood partners to start to implement the action agenda. So I don't know if people were involved in there was some work done at a quadrant level about a year ago, and some of you may have been involved. When we came on board in May with the new planning office, we kind of assessed where we were with community engagement for the comprehensive plan and felt that it wasn't sufficient for the amount of engagement we think should be done for a comprehensive plan, so we rebooted and started again. But all the work that was done at the quadrant level is in this document on our website, which you can, our website is on this card that everyone has. So if you want to go in and check it out, you can look for this, tap on it, and you'll be able to look at the document. And there was some work done with a project with some 7th graders. We're also doing another outreach with the school district and the kids in school at the Rochester City School District on June 1st. We're doing a little event with them as well. So I want to take that slide out, by the way, because we've done a lot more than that. That's an old slide. So currently underway, we have some housing and transportation studies going on. Those are studies to help us be better informed to write the comprehensive plan. So we have a housing market study going on to kind of tell us what's going on in the housing market. Where do we see new housing coming? Where do we need to invest in new housing? Where should we start to maybe not invest in housing because maybe it's time to pull our money into other parts of the city based on housing trends? We'll see. Are there housing types that we don't have enough of in the city that we need to start developing? Anyway, that'll be really good information for us. Those studies will be done early summer, midsummer, and then we'll pull those into our work in the comprehensive plan. So we're meeting with every single neighborhood association in Rochester, so that's why we're here tonight. That's a lot of meetings, but it's been a lot of fun for us working with you guys. We're also meeting with stakeholder groups. Last week we met with the Center for Disability Rights. We're meeting with environmental groups, park advocates, climate coalition, those kind of advocacy groups we're pulling together also because whereas you guys are sort of geography based, they're more topic based, and we want to make sure we hear from everybody.
Doreen,
Yep.
are you working with Reconnect Rochester when you mentioned
Yes.
transportation?
Yes, we are working with Reconnect Rochester.
Take Back the Land regarding housing?
And Take Back the Land, isn't it, we met with the
We met with the Land Trust.
the Land
We've
Trust.
met with a group that's a coalition of different housing and environmental groups called Our Land Rocks.
Rocks,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
Great.
Yep, we have.
Will you have a table or presentation at the Earth Day presentation at Parcel 5?
We are not
No.
planning on doing that, no.
Okay.
Not that it's, I mean, it's a good idea, but we
'Cause there'll be a lot of
haven't planned on
people
it.
to reach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yes,
We will be at the Celebrate City Living Expo.
yeah.
As
we'll
will
be
we.
there.
As will we.
Oh, you will be
Yes,
there too?
yes.
Oh, cool. And we will be at the public market on Saturday, this
Okay.
Saturday. So if you're at the public market, stop by and say hello. We're meeting with city departments also, just because they'll be our many of our main implementers. So we're meeting with them, make sure they are on board to the comprehensive plan and they're in touch with it. And again, doing our best practice review and research. We have an online survey, which is also referenced on that card, how to connect the survey. Has anyone taken the survey yet in this group? That's great. We got a whole new group of people that can take the survey tonight.
I did share it on the email that everyone
Very
got as
good.
well.
Good. So let me just say this about the survey. Other people in the city are taking it. So if you guys want Wyodotus represented, take the survey. We'll go through a little bit of it tonight, just so I can take some of the mystery out for you, okay? Because it can be a little challenging. If you don't have a computer or you don't have Wi-Fi at home, you can come to the library, and the librarians should be able to help you at the library if you want to take it there. And we can skip the rest of that part. So here's the survey. Is there a way to tap into it online? So I'm going to go through it really quickly with you so that, like I said, it takes a little mystery out and you'll feel more comfortable with it. It's kind of fun. It's not your normal survey that you're maybe accustomed to taking. The beauty about this survey is that you don't have to have a login. You don't have to create a login. You don't have to put your email address like we often do as part of surveys. You go right into the survey. The first thing you do is start answering the survey. There's no login here. Can you go on right here?
No, it's not displaying.
It's not displaying? Oh, that's weird.
It's split screen.
Oh, because it's not a different, because I have two screens. Can you change that in the settings?
Let's see. Yes, we can.
Okay. All right. Okay, so the best, aside from going to that website that's on that card, you can also go to the cityofrochester.gov and just go to the home page. And if you type in 2034 and click enter, it'll take you to a list. Right here, at the top one is the page that will connect you to the survey. So click on that. And then if you scroll down, there's a button right there that says take the survey, click here to begin. So it's pretty simple to get to. So this is what it's called. MetroQuest is the vendor of the online survey. They're the ones that set up the platform for us to put in our information. So you're going to wait for it to download. Please take a moment here. And click begin. Now, this first page is a summary of the comprehensive plan and the 200th birthday, everything that we're talking about tonight. So skip page 1. And there's only a total of 5 pages, so you're already 20% done here. So you go to this page here, and then these tabs over here are generally tabs or topics you will find in a comprehensive plan. So vibrant neighborhoods, strong economy, healthy communities, transportation, and sustainable environment. So those, and then within each tab is another list of things within that. So within vibrant neighborhoods, we have public art, building conditions, housing choices, public spaces, vacant lots. Those are all things you think about with neighborhoods and vibrant neighborhoods. So over here, you click on the number of stars for how important that topic is to you. So 1, it's not that important to me. I'd rather see you focus on other things. 5, it's really important to me. This is where you need to put your focus. So give me a rating for each one of these within each one of these tabs, and that's the number 1 task. You can also add a comment. So if like public art is like the thing that's near and dear to your heart and you just want to tell me about it, you can add a comment. But again, you do not have to add any comments. Just add the stars if that's all you want to do. Okay? If you want to take 10 minutes to do the survey, you can take 10 minutes. If you want to take an hour, fill in all these comments. I can tell you right now that we currently have 55,000 data points and almost 4,000 comments in the surveys. So yeah, it's a lot of work. Try to get.
And how many
You
surveys?
picked up on that right away.
How many surveys have been completed?
So we have a little over 2,000 surveys completed already. So.
I had 2 short questions.
Yep.
Number 1, let's say I don't want to comment on public art at all.
Yep. You can skip it.
I'm not obligated to rate it 1 or 5.
You
or
could
anything.
skip this whole page if you wanted to, and it's okay. If you wanted to just go to the other 2 pages and fill them out and skip this one, you can do that. Yeah,
Great.
there's no obligation to fill in every blank.
Second question.
Yeah.
With no login,
Yep.
how do you stop people from ballot stuffing?
Okay, so they can track that if necessary. If we're having, MetroQuest has said we've never had an issue with that kind of thing happening. But there is a way of tracking, what do they call it,
IP address.
IP address, thank you. So they can track it if they start to see a weird skewing of the comments, they can look and see that and regulate that. So there is a way to check that.
Because I was going to say, there's 20 computers out there.
Yeah.
You could do a survey, sit down together and do a survey.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, vacant lots is the most important thing in the world.
I gotcha. We have a way of tracking that, and we will keep an eye out for that. Thank you. Yep.
Yes, ma'am. On a lot of programs on the internet, when you go to order stuff
Yep.
and stuff like that, they've got a section where you gotta click "I'm not a robot,"
Yes.
and they could set something like that up, and then they have to go through and actually pick out
Yes,
different
I've seen
things on a
that.
picture.
Yes.
In order to do that there, you cannot be a robot because a robot cannot distinguish the pictures.
Right. We do not have anything like that. There's no fear, there's no problem, I think, because people aren't really providing any personal data on here, as far as I know. I don't know why else, but you don't have to do anything like that on this computer, on this survey.
Well, I'm not worried about it because I enjoy it.
I know, it's like a puzzle. It's kind of fun. I know.
So if there's no personal data, you really don't know from where these surveys are coming from, is that correct?
Nope, that is not correct. And I will show you why.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna come back to that. So the next screen is creative ideas. This is a very simple screen. And all this is if you have some creative idea or suggestion that you have been dying to tell the city for a really long time, this is your chance to do it. You just get to put in some great idea. Why don't they think about this for 10th City? Or why don't they think about this, putting a fast ferry up at the port? Any kind of big idea you have, you can put it in there, and then you're done with this screen. So that's a simple one. And then the next one is a little more fun. It's like a Google-based map that you're used to, you're kind of used to seeing. You can zoom in and you can pan around. So see how you're zooming in with the plus and zooming out, and then what you want to do here is, we got the Lyle Otis neighborhood here, is you can drag and drop these things. So for favorite places, you can drag it, and then up will pop a box. And now, dragging and dropping on this map can be very imprecise. So if you're talking about a very specific site, please type in the address, because it's going to give you, or an intersection, or give us some point of reference, okay? I don't know why this is taking a while. Let's drag and drop the challenge area, which these are the areas you have concerns about. So here I have concerns with, there's a drop-down menu. It's not translating well, is it? So I have concerns with traffic, lighting, crime, lack of housing choices, a vacant building, pedestrian safety, or other. And then if you want, you can just leave it there, or you or you can type in a comment, okay? And if it's a specific site and you want to, this is where you type it in here. Type in a specific site. So we have favorite places, we have challenge areas, which you're concerns with, and then we have your wish list. Someday I'd like to see what here? And it gives you a list of, I would like to see a park here, I would like to see a bus shelter, I'd like to see a bike rack, I'd like to shop here, whatever, and then you can, again, you have an opportunity for comment. And you can drag and drop as many favorite places, as many challenge areas, as many wish lists as you want to in your neighborhood. So go nuts. And you can, actually, you don't have to do your neighborhood, you can do the whole city. Sorry, I didn't mean to mislead you.
When you say bus stops and everything, so it's almost like SimCity. We're putting in the wish of where we would
It's a
put
wish,
things.
yes, it's a wish,
Okay.
okay? Yeah,
See, it's a game.
it's kind of a game.
Yeah.
Nice idea.
So I expect you two to go home and do the survey, right?
Birthday, he'll probably help me with it.
Right. Well, these are the perspectives that we need. That's right.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know, I
Exactly.
know.
Trust me, he's throwing some great ideas my way.
Great,
So.
great. Do your survey when you get home and have all your friends in your neighborhood and at school do it too.
Yeah.
How about that? And then the next page, to Pam's point, is this is the last page. This is optional. And again, you do not have to do every single question. You can do one question and ignore the rest of them. It's up to you. But this is our way of trying to track who are we reaching.
Mm-hmm.
Are we reaching renters? Are we reaching homeowners? Are we reaching people who are of a certain age? Are we getting young people and older people, or are we just getting older people filling out the survey? And also, it gives you a chance to put in your zip code. So that'll help us figure out, are we getting people from all over the city, or are we just hearing from one part of the city? So we really want, to the extent that you feel comfortable, please fill in this information, because it will really help inform us about who we're reaching and who we're not reaching, which is what we want to keep track of.
Short question to that
Yep,
point.
yep.
If you do find that you have a void in
Yep.
in the data, would you go back, do you have a plan to go back and revisit?
So we're
try
already
to-
doing that, because we've been tracking it, and we are missing, we're not getting people with, obviously with no computers, but lower income. Different parts of the city too are light in zip codes. So we just met with some staff at our MAPI today, and they're actually deploying some people, some staff people, some AmeriCorps Vista people to go out and start to really target those areas that we are underserving.
Yeah, because I could see, individuals who, let's say, are reluctant to even participate in a survey
Yep.
like that because they might owe child support or have a warrant or not speak English.
Good
or
point.
many different reasons why they would not be comfortable doing that.
So we
survey.
actually have converted this, we manually did this, we converted it to a paper copy. And for people who are really, really adverse to using a computer or really have no access to a computer, we have a paper version. So our MAPI is going to be pulling the paper copy out for people too, to help facilitate some of the surveys.
When someone who speaks Karen goes to the City of Rochester site, will this survey be translated so that they may participate?
So it does translate. We have on our website, at that website that you have in our card, it has directions on how to translate through Google. It'll translate it for you, and it has directions on how to translate to Spanish, but I imagine it
And
probably.
I think there's a whole bunch of languages in there. I don't know if Karen is in there.
Well, it was just
Yeah.
because over near our Lexington boundary,
Yep.
we've got a lot of folks over there as well, at Mary's Place and stuff.
That's right. And so one of the things on our list is we're going to be meeting with refugee service providers and refugee leaders, and some of them have actually offered to organize with translators
Super.
some groups of their own to help people fill this out and provide input.
Super,
Yep.
Yeah.
super. The other thing was, what was it? We'll come back to it. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
that's
I'm
okay.
sorry. The language was important.
So one of the things
Can I
I
just
just,
add one little
yes.
thing, which is, to your point, so this information, this is not for tracking anything other than just helping us understand who we're
Yeah.
reaching.
Mhm.
And so although all of this information is optional, we're asking folks to fill it
Yeah.
out, because it may be that we are reaching renters or low-income folks,
Yeah.
but we don't know because people don't feel comfortable sharing the information. So we really want to assure people that we're not going to track or use
Yeah.
this information.
We're not going to
And
sell
that's-
it,
and
we're not
that's-
going to sell it.
Right.
And that's still,
Other than,
Yeah.
to
And-
understand who we're reaching.
right, I was gonna say, for vulnerable populations,
Yep.
you're gonna have, that's a hard sell to tell them,
Yeah.
hey, none of this is gonna come back to you.
Totally
Right.
agreed. So,
Right.
you know, the only thing we can do is tell people that, and they can trust us or not, but that's what our,
When you find these pockets that need a little more encouragement, rather than people door knocking, what about like billboards? Something
Well-
that's static that they could see and, you
yeah,
know.
we haven't thought about billboards, but we have taken a lot of, we've taken out ads in particular publications that are going to certain populations that don't, you know, maybe not read Democrat and Chronicle or City Newspaper, but we've been very targeted in some of our social media promotion and some of our print media to get to those populations. So, and we did go on the Blue Cross Arena,
Oh,
big,
awesome.
huge thing. What do they call
Marquee.
that? The Marquee, thank you,
Mhm.
thank you.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you have it at the Kodak Center one as well?
No,
Oh.
no. So anyway, so also, if you want to give us your email, that is optional, but it's just so that maybe when the draft is ready, we can do an email,
You like status reports?
Yeah.
status report, yeah. I don't know, does MetroQuest capture those for us and put it in some place where you can copy and paste it?
The emails?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would be really hard to retype everything and cut and paste all of
Yeah,
them.
I'm not.
And then I see the social media links there for Facebook and
Yep.
Twitter and
Yep,
to,
absolutely.
you know, so
Yep.
we're encouraged to get that out to, because this is the first I'm hearing of this.
Oh, is it?
And I read the Democrat Chronicle every day.
I don't know if
So I
Democrat
have-
Chronicle's done much on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have a,
Mitch Gruber's doing a letter to the editor that should be out.
I have a vague understanding.
Oh, it was Sunday. Oh, fantastic. 'Cause
Yeah.
someone called me today, and he said he saw it in the city newspaper, and I thought maybe he saw it at the Democrat Chronicle, but,
That's why I have a vague understanding of what's going on.
okay.
The Democrat Chronicle.
Yeah. So, yeah. And that's why we're coming here tonight. I'm like, these are why we're doing these meetings, because this is the best way to get people, is just face to face, so.
And then for you guys to, whether it's through social media or just talking to your neighbors or talking to the people in your life and just talk it up and encourage them to participate. That's really the most effective way, is that personal connection and touch and encouragement.
And, you know, I was just talking to Commissioner Mohammed today about the fact that the engagement process we're going through has value, and that it's getting people engaged and talking about planning and talking about our vision for 2034 and you know, working together around the survey. And, you know, it's just a great way to get everybody sort of, you know, engaged and having a little bit of a buzz about the future. So that's kind of fun, and that in itself has value. It's not just a product here.
What's the timeline on this? How long will this survey be available for people to?
The survey is going
input?
offline. May 31st is the last day, so it's going offline
Oh, so it's-
at the end of the day on May 31st.
So relatively soon.
Yeah, and it's been up since January, but you guys are just hearing about it now, so so hopefully you'll be able to get to it before.
Yeah, because I'll make it a one-man crusade to get that survey out to as
Okay.
many people as I
Perfect.
can.
Perfect,
With
great.
that tight of a window,
Yeah.
yeah, and I'll.
Yep. I
You
appreciate
just
that.
gave me a part-time job.
All right.
Yep, for the news.
What's the target amount of response? So you go like
I don't have a
10,000?
target. To tell you the truth, I'm thrilled with 2,000, but of
That's
course we would love to
1%.
double that, so.
Is there? It's like 1% though of our city, right?
Oh God, don't make me do math in front of people.
I mean, it's really low right now, so we've got nowhere to go but up, okay? Yeah.
Somewhere around.
No, it's like 220,000.
Is it
It's
that
about,
low?
no, it's,
Yeah.
our population is about 208,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm taking,
210 maybe.
Yeah,
yeah.
If it's going up or down, we don't know because the census is
Right.
coming up,
Right.
so.
Yeah. So
All right,
that's-
so any questions on comprehensive plan, the schedule, or, you know, the survey, anything like that before we move on to our next exercise, our exercises?
on your screen, you mentioned the 7th graders that you were going to be
Yep.
targeting or have targeted.
Yep.
I would suggest the juniors and seniors.
So that's who's going to be at the June 1st event.
Okay, because
Middle-
some of
middle
the
school and
phones,
high school.
some of the phones can do these surveys, and I think they would have more to say, you know.
Yeah. So we will absolutely have, at a minimum, the paper surveys available at the June 1st event for the kids. So,
But we're also working to engage the Mayor's Youth Advisory Council, and through our collaboration with the people of the Anti-Poverty Initiative, they're going to be doing outreach at libraries and at rec centers to, take advantage of young people and teens and families and elders and a whole range of people out there. So I think we'll get some youth voices that way too.
Are you able to set up satellite collections, maybe with paper, at the, you mentioned Mitch, the food,
Yeah.
the curbside markets?
Yeah, we did. We talked with Nathaniel Misch, and
Oh, yeah.
I think with Mitch actually, about those and about handing out cards and doing some outreach there. It's beyond our capacity to be there and to do that, but we're trying to work with them so that their staff or folks who volunteer with them might be able to do that. And
Or those,
take your comment back that you think that would be an effective.
The AmeriCorps people, because then,
yeah.
like you said, you're
So
reaching them
AmeriCorps is
face to
working-
face.
They're working with the RMAPI to do that for us. My staff, myself and my staff are only 4 people, so we're doing as much as we can with the 4 people, and then we're relying on other people to pass out the card, and and our MAPI stepped up with their AmeriCorps Vista volunteer interns, whatever they are, and they're going to be working. So, so we're doing as much of it. We did tabling at the U of R and RIT. We're going to be doing tabling at MCC if I can never get their paperwork filled out. Yeah, we got a lot going on.
So one more question, and I
Yep.
apologize.
No, that's okay.
Because I'm very active on social media, and I have tons and tons of friends, but they don't all live here. So the question is, with no login credentials needed, is there people in suburban locations?
People from suburban locations are filling out the survey, and they're putting in their zip code, so we're tracking who from the outside.
Okay.
The city is the core of our region. People from the suburbs value the city and care about the city, and they come here, and they work here, they visit here.
Or they don't come here?
So,
Right.
so let's hear why not.
Right.
But for sure, I welcome anybody's comments.
And we do ask in that last page, people could live here, but we also ask, do you work here? Because there are a lot of people that spend a lot of time in the city, they don't live here, but
My
they do
argument.
work here.
Yes.
And we want to hear from those people
Exactly.
too.
We live here, we live in the neighborhood, we live in the city, but our zip code is Gates. So
Oh, okay.
it's
Yeah.
gonna give you a false read.
Okay.
That will give you a false read.
Well, that's a good point.
So is 14609 as well.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
okay, because I don't mind if it bleeds across the municipal lines. It's
But
okay.
you're not getting, if you at least had our address, you could see, oh, this street is between Cameron and Sherman, and it buzzes off of Otis and Lyle. But just with the zip code, we get
Yeah.
it down as someone who's outside the city.
Well, we were afraid to get too close, because we thought people might think we were trying to figure out, get too personal about who you are, and where you are. So we wanted to go zip code, but it's okay. It's okay if you put your zip code in, because we're basically mapping out with the zip code. So it's going to be.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter if if the zip code goes across the boundary line, as long as we know that zip code is being represented.
And you're not dissuading suburban
Right.
And we
input anyway.
we don't care if people from suburbia respond to the survey, so that's okay too. We don't mind. And I can't remember, does it say, do you live here? Do you live
Just
in the
says,
city?
do you work
Do you
here?
work in the city? Okay.
Also too, Cameron Ministries, they have a social worker now. His name is Edgar Cruz.
Okay,
He's doing a resource event in
okay.
June. So if you guys, if you've got a card, I
Yeah.
can have him call you, and he can let you know, maybe you can come to that resource event.
Okay, well, I don't know if in June, we're gonna try and be done with all of that, because we gotta literally go into closed doors here and start synthesizing all the information we received and pull together all this information and start writing content, because we're on a deadline for getting this done, so we gotta sort of have deadlines for things. But I will say this, that we are having a big event with faith leaders on May 1st. And the mayor has reached out to over 300 faith leaders in Rochester to come to the event. So I bet you Cameron Ministries is probably on that. And then what happens is they come to this event, and then we're gonna say, please go out and reach out to your congregation and have them get involved in the survey and you know, get engaged in the process. So we're capturing the faith community there. So hopefully we'll capture that group at that time. Okay.
Two things. One is the PowerPoint. Is that available online so we can share the
It
link?
is. It'll be available tomorrow, right? Yep.
Super.
Yep.
And the second question, Cameron Ministries in particular, St. Peter and Paul, soup kitchens and having lunches, they have a lot of folks that come in.
Yep.
If you had the paper copies that could be shared and
Yep.
collected,
Okay.
maybe by, like you said, the RMAPI, AmeriCorps people.
Yep.
Because those are,
We'll put that on our list, because that's
Monday through
coming on
Friday, you know.
now, right,
Yeah,
okay.
those are happening all
Okay.
the time.
All right, very good, thank you. All right, well, we want to move on, because we got a lot to do tonight. So, let's see. One of the things we want to talk about is your neighborhood outreach. So, not necessarily your boundaries, because we know what your boundaries are. You have a very large neighborhood, and we know your boundaries are generally the Broad Street, Lyle Avenue, and the municipal line. But what we're trying to get to is, what is your outreach area? Are you able to reach every corner of the Lyle Avenue neighborhood in terms of your outreach? You feel
Yes.
comfortable with that? Yes.
We
okay.
actually have people come from suburbs, you know, friends and family members, because we put on such a cool event.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So, and so these, like, sort of these outlying areas, like the Polaris Street
Yes.
area, you're able to
Yes.
engage them in your community? That's
Absolutely, and
perfect.
we have like two different major apartment complexes right there as well.
Okay, super.
Yeah.
All right, excellent. All right, that's what we were hoping to hear. Now, here's another, this is kind of hard because your neighborhood is so large. But in light of, you know, in today's world where retail is really shrinking, okay? I mean, there are malls in suburbs that are not doing well. And we know that we don't have the population we did in the 1950s. So some of our commercial areas are starting to look kind of tired, and vacancy is a problem. We are trying to get our neighborhoods to focus in together, and this is not an easy thing, but focus in on where in your neighborhood would you like to see commercial development and commercial redevelopment focus. So whereas we can't see an entire corridor anymore be a commercial area, maybe there's one or two intersections on that commercial area that you see as the most valuable commercial nodes, areas in your neighborhood. Can you think about that for a minute? Yeah.
Well, we have a brownfield area on Lexington Avenue, right next door to the post office. It's about 74 square miles. Square miles.
No.
No.
Square.
Square feet.
No,
You're
not
talking
70
about
foot.
the garden next door?
No. It's a very large lot with a fence. It's on our northern border.
So let me just be clear, because I
Yes.
think you're talking about something else we're going to talk about next.
Okay.
Those are strategic sites that we're looking for. What I'm looking for is, where do you want to be your commercial center? Where's your commercial center where you want to go and be able to walk to it, or park once and walk around, but go to a barber, go to a nail salon? Yep.
I think what you're trying to say is, where is the hub?
Where's your hub? Commercial hubs. And there could be more than one.
I don't think we have one.
Well,
Okay.
Mount Reed
Mount Reed.
would be
Lyle
the
and Mount
first one.
Reed. Lyle and Mount Reed.
What's the Lyle and Mount Reed?
It's a big intersection. There's a school there.
Across the street,
There's a plaza.
number 43.
Yep.
We're
My son actually
seeing
goes to
really great
43.
stores going in there now.
Yep.
But we need something closer
Okay.
to.
Well, we'd also like to
So Lyle-
redevelop our canal, because it's a historic Erie canal, and we would like to have the show in place of the West, with, like you said, nail salons and
Let's talk about
things
that. So
there.
let's talk about that, because, so what about, are there particular intersections along Lyle that you guys consider to be valuable commercial?
See, the problem with Lyle in this neighborhood is stores are there, but stores that we don't want.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
every
Okay.
time the city does it, they open up these stores and they're giving us drug dealers and,
So are these
Yeah.
convenience stores?
yes,
Yep.
a lot of them.
Often.
And we also have a lot of car dealerships.
Car
Yes.
dealerships, you do have more car dealerships than any place else. in the
Yes, we
city.
do.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's really ridiculous.
And that's what we don't want.
And we understand that we need that tax revenue, but we keep telling the city
Yeah.
that, you've gotta stop letting these people come. There's other places in the community that don't have as many of these places as we do.
Yeah,
And it's
Okay.
just getting to the point where it's getting, to me, I kind of barked at one meeting I was at. We were talking about Whitney Street, getting something on Whitney Street. And now all of a sudden, it's a dead horse, just like.
oh, the
every-
Orchard Whitney site?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you, I would be happy to bring you up to speed on that, because I was working on that project. And just so you know, I think you'll be happy to hear this, but we went out and we hired a consultant to actually help foster interest in the Orchard Whitney site. We were marketing it as strong as anybody can market a site. We marketed it nationally, we marketed it so much. We got interest in the site by car dealerships, by contractor storage, all the things that your community does not need another one of. So just so you know, we rejected all of those.
Thank you.
We said, let's leave it vacant until we can get the kind of development there the neighborhood deserves. So we've held on to it.
I've heard people say, we have Save-A-Lot down the street. People at our end, we're kind of at the end of Sherman. Our street runs out of Sherman and Cameron. A lot of people say they would like a grocery store of some kind. Maybe not as big as Wegmans.
Right, maybe an Aldi's, that kind of
No, we
size?
have one of those, and
Oh,
it's
okay.
like still,
not
it's not like
walkable, though.
Edmond. We don't
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
anything.
because like one like
The middle, yeah.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
middle of our neighborhood, it's easy to run, and I've heard people go, oh, well, people can take the bus here and there. Not everybody has the funding to get on a bus.
Yeah.
Not everybody has a car to go. And
Right.
Far enough
we
away.
were,
So what kind of a grocery store, what kind of format, if it's not the Aldi size and it's not a convenience store, what kind of thing are you thinking of?
Something stuck between an Aldi's and a Wegmans.
What-
Something that's
Price right.
Like a Price Right?
Yeah.
price right.
Okay,
I
right.
mean,
It's just small enough, even where it is over on the other side, say they're just small enough,
Yeah,
or it's easy, it's not
huge.
way over, yeah.
Yeah, so that, and grocery stores are a challenge because
Oh, yeah.
it's hard to get grocery stores to move into the city.
Or maybe Hearts, because they've already got one on the east side. We
Right.
could have them come to the west.
We
Right.
lost our 7-Eleven. We
Yeah.
lost our
Yeah.
7-Eleven, and I mean, they've been shucking them off in the city.
Yeah, I've
You know,
heard
and
7-Eleven.
probably, and you know, the only, you gotta follow the money, is because they're not making any money, and that's either.
And now Tops is in bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Are they
groceries,
really?
yes.
Our impact.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know if anybody realizes, but these stores operate on a 1 or 2% profit margin.
I know that.
So they're very, very.
Yeah, it's low, yeah.
Well, the
Yeah.
convenience stores like a 7-Eleven is actually a little higher. The grocery stores are very low.
Yeah.
But they work on up to almost a 10% margin. But still, you could have that pilfered in a week. You could lose your entire revenue for a week.
Right.
Just on,
It's a very,
Some
it's
high-ticket
a something
items.
that believe me, that when I tell you, the city has been trying, working on getting grocery stores into the city, and it's a very, very difficult thing to do. But it doesn't mean we can't wish for it and envision it for our future and really keep working on it.
Can we bring
I
some,
think too, getting something like that, we're also opening the door to jobs. This
Right.
neighborhood is in desperate need
Jobs.
of employment that's going to motivate people to get up and go.
Right.
And be able to have money to buy that car.
Yep.
Or, send their kid to private school, whatever.
Right.
It's just that, I'm sick and tired of being called one of the poorest neighborhoods
Yeah,
in this
I'm
city.
sure you
I'm
are.
done with it.
Do you guys touch base with Zweigels? Because they like to hire people from the neighborhood. And those are high-paying jobs, manufacturing jobs. So I'm just as an a thought that if you want to start making connections, because I know that they have a hard time finding people.
they do.
So if you want to, maybe as a neighborhood association, create a relationship there, you could create a path for people from your neighborhood into employment at Zweigel's.
Okay,
So,
what
Maybe
happened
we
with,
should invite them to an association meeting and say, this is a little bit of the people that, you know,
Sure.
we're in your neighborhood. We have young people that need jobs.
they told me that they would be very interested in hiring people from the neighborhood, and they have people there, because I've been to their facility, and I've seen the people there that are from the area, but they plan on staying here, they're expanding, they're looking for reasons to expand, yeah.
now the Whitney site.
I mean, they're looking for ways to
The
expand.
Whitney site that we were working on.
Yeah.
What happened with the, hospital we wanted to put in there?
Now, well, that's why we're still hoping that, you know, give it
A
a few
little
more
center, like
years,
an
a little
urgent care
more
Yes.
market build up, and, you know, we might see something like that, but we
were
worked really
talking
hard
about
at
a
it.
fish hatchery or some
Yeah.
type of,
I know,
What
yeah,
do you
like
think?
nothing. We had a workshop just on the agribusiness, you know, that industrial scale
Right. Mhm.
of agriculture. We had all these people from the whole region that work in this, and they said there isn't a business plan right now that works at that site.
Could we get another grocery store that's small, from another area, I mean, from another part of the United States, and
Yeah, yeah.
and bring it in?
Good wiggly.
Yeah.
Something-
Yeah, like a Piggly Wiggly type.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We'll put it down, and we'll start to explore that. Like, are there other markets that might be willing to come in here?
I'm starting to feel bad for you and your staff, because I feel like, just in the city in general, not just our neighborhood.
Yeah.
But I think in the city in general, you've got this tangled Christmas lights of, well, are there jobs? Well, there's no jobs. Jobs create poverty. Poverty creates crime. It
Right.
also creates a lack of an ownership situation among the citizens.
Right.
Because if you're
A
renting,
lot of
who
transiency.
cares? I mean, I've seen, you know, just in the last few days, and it's, you know, it
Well,
makes
here's
me
the
sick.
thing. Here's my
People
advice
chucking
to you.
garbage out their cars door because they don't care.
You cannot focus on those things because it will bring you down. You gotta really think hopeful and figure out what are the low-hanging fruit that you can start getting some small successes and start building out those successes. And believe it or not, there are good things happening in Rochester right now. Rochester is up on the upswing, so we don't know where the market's going to take us, but it's definitely looking better. But you can get caught in that rabbit hole where you start to go, you know, like down, and it can be a very depressing
And that leads into a
exercise.
question that I wanted to ask earlier, which was with this entire plan moving towards 2034, are you looking to implement like a lot of things over a long period of time, or is it, you know?
Of course, I mean,
kind
it's,
of-
yeah, I mean, it's
You don't want
going
to roll
be-
everything out all at once.
No, we will have an action agenda that's usually how it's set up. I mean, obviously, we haven't written it yet, but it's usually set up like short-term, midterm, and long-term goals and objectives. So we will, and then we'll start tracking those action items, and we're gonna, you know, we'll start tracking them to see how we're doing with getting to those near-term things, and where are we in, you know, incremental successes to the long-term things.
And one thing just to piggyback on that is that we really want and need to emphasize that this is a plan that goes beyond the city government. You know, we definitely want to be laser focused on what are some things that we as city government can do and should do, maybe different or new or updated. But we can't make everything happen on our own as a city government. We need all kinds of partners, businesses, employers, investors, artists, neighbors, neighborhood associations. So I think something that we'll be looking to call out are, for some of the big actions that we want to see and take and make happen, who needs to be involved in those?
Who are the
can be
partners?
responsible for those? You know, what's an appropriate time frame? Is this a short-term thing, or is this like, whoa, this is a big, huge, long-term goal that we're going to need a lot of people working together on?
Yeah, so like we met with Genesee Brewery, Mary Beth Pop, and she's very interested in hearing what is the vision, that how can Genesee Brewery participate in some of those action items. And we've met with Ajamu over at ESL Foundation. He's very excited about our action agenda because he wants his ESL Foundation to see where they can start to participate in the action agenda and be a partner. So we have a lot of different ways of partnering.
This is kind of getting off that subject, but where in this plan does things like, I talk to a lot of younger people, teenagers and that, they get really, they're looking at, a lot of kids want to come to the library, but they go downtown because they have this big, beautiful teen center.
Oh,
They
okay.
have access to 3D printers.
Okay.
Here, there's nowhere for these guys to go. And there had been talk, and I had talked to a couple people that work at the Central Library, how they would like to take it closer back into the neighborhood, further, closer, where there are more kids. So what
Okay, so
is the
you're talking about
plans?
building up the branch facilities, the branch libraries to have some of more that, the cool stuff that the community can benefit from.
Yeah, because
Okay, that's a good comment.
Yeah.
I really see that, talking to these kids, they go over to Sully, and Sully's got this big, beautiful teen center, or downtown's got it.
Yep.
We're not looking at that grand,
Yeah.
but this building is not.
Well, so Scott sits on the library facilities plan. They're creating they're creating a plan around the library facilities. So Scott, I think you should carry that to that committee
Absolutely.
discussion.
Yeah, hurry up, because I need new parts. Let's get this 3D printer.
I'll do my best.
Let's step on it a little.
Well, the libraries are such an important community amenity that we need to, you definitely need to, and I think they're going to different neighborhood associations, right? The facilities
I don't know if
planning?
they've started out, but yeah,
They're
they're definitely
planning
gonna
to.
do a robust community outreach.
So
effort.
you make sure they come here. Make sure that Lyle Otis is on their list, okay?
Mm-hmm.
When you take a look at
The
it.
biggest
It would
thing,
just benefit these neighborhoods, don't
So much.
necessarily- To have kids have something for them and give them, opportunities to experience.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's a great
the
comment.
biggest thing we need in this neighborhood that we've been after for hundreds of years, we don't have a rec center.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In our
We
whole,
are the only neighborhood in
Wow.
the entire city, okay?
So this is all,
Does not have
this is
a
all
rec
stuff in the
center.
survey, right?
Yeah, you can put that in the survey for
Specifically.
sure, but we're also gonna put it in our notes.
we have
I
4
mean, you can
parks.
see, we have 4 beautiful parks,
Mhm.
no water, no electric.
Right.
So we can't do any
No
concerts.
facilities, yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
And
no
no rec
water,
center.
electric at the parks. Did you guys get
And
that?
when you're talking from
So
Lee
for
Road,
events.
Mhm.
people that live in, by
Yeah,
that area, there's no place to go.
I gotcha.
I mean, we redid all of our playgrounds. We
Right.
started with Sebastian Park.
Okay.
Then we did Riley Park, then we did Wilson Park, and finally Bianchi Park.
Okay.
And each one has new play equipment. We're still working on different things, trying to get some parking as well
Okay.
at certain
There's no
ones.
parking.
Yeah,
Okay.
which creates problems for our neighbors living on streets, especially Bianchi Park, because it's used by the Pop Warner. And when those folks are there about 4 months out of the year, the seniors can't get out of their homes, can't get into their homes.
Wow, Pop Warner brings a lot of people.
It really does.
And they have no parking.
No parking.
Okay.
And so as we plan,
And that's
we,
Bianchi?
Bianchi,
Bianchi
yeah, the
Park.
Glide and Emerson, where you take
Okay.
your test drives.
Yep.
Also too, I can pretty much tell you what the city's gonna tell you about a rec center up here. You have Campbell and Edgerton's down the road. That's exactly what they told me.
I know.
We're not gonna get a rec center
But we-
anytime soon.
But
because we
that
have
doesn't mean that
Edgerton,
we
and they
can't,
just spent millions
Right,
on
but
it.
But
maybe
when you
there's
go on
something-
the other side of Montreat Boulevard,
yeah.
Lexington Avenue, how far is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Walk.
yeah.
So, that's something, that's a challenge we can work, and maybe it isn't the construction of a new rec center, maybe it's something, maybe there's an interim step in there we can figure out.
Transportation,
You know?
an improvement in
Or even
transportation
just
would
if
solve
you have a
that problem.
site that you can at least have an event at with water and electric
Yeah,
and
that's
a
it.
pavilion or something.
We don't
you
have
know?
anything.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I just want to know, for like educational wise and everything in the city, how is there a way where we can like really improve because
The schools?
schools because there's
Okay.
a couple of teachers. There is like one over at 54. My son's no longer there, thank God. But this one teacher is completely. I keep hearing she not only changed my son when he was there for 2nd grade.
Yeah.
But I heard recently she's changed like 4 or 5 other kids. They're getting nasty rules. She does not care about their education. She's making them afraid
Really?
to making them afraid
That's
to attend
upsetting.
school.
Well, okay, so whereas we don't really have a lot to do with the school system. We are gonna talk about what your feelings are about like neighborhood schools.
Yeah.
And how you feel about, you know, how the schools interact with interface with you as a community. Do they have facilities that you can use, or, you know, that kind of thing. But in terms of like teacher stuff, you really gotta call the school district. Unfortunately, we don't have anything to do with that.
Do you know, like, how would I go about that, though?
Calling the school?
Yeah, especially if my son's, like, no longer there, but I'm hearing that she's still affecting other kids, even though...
I think you should send an email or call the school, for sure.
Okay.
Call the central office, not the school, but call the central office.
Yes.
Okay.
Or the
And you
school.
might want to talk to somebody in parent engagement.
Okay, because I tried them, and they're, like, literally, like, ignored everything.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
Well,
bad.
Ricky Frazier is the head of parent engagement, as long as I'm at least he last was. Ricky.Frazier at rcsdk12.org is his email. And he is right here in our neighborhood. He's a neighbor.
Perfect.
Oh,
If
there
you
you go.
could actually write down that
Yeah.
email
Yes.
for me or send me
Yes.
an email, that would be great.
He would give you a response.
So,
Okay,
let
perfect.
me just, let me move on to one more thing. So, the other thing we're trying to do is map some sites that in your community that we're calling strategic sites. Sites that you think could have a transformative impact on your neighborhood. We already know Orchard Whitney is one of them. I think we're safe to say that Orchard Whitney is a strategic site in your community, very central. Well, I don't know if it's central. It's not actually central to Lyle.
Just
Well,
across
it's-
from.
yeah, it's
But
across the
it's
street.
something that's central to
Yes.
this quadrant in
Area.
this area, and so, but I know that, and plus it's on Lyle Avenue, and anyway, so I'm assuming that. Am I correct in saying that Orchard Whitney is a strategic site?
Yes.
For you
Yes.
guys?
It could be.
You
It could
also,
be.
you also could add Tent City.
Tent City.
Which is a 5 to revive this
Yep,
year.
Yep, so Tent City is another strategic site. Are there any other strategic sites in Lyle
Can
Otis?
I ask something? How can it be a site that's set for revamping when it's been condemned? Somebody was saying it's been condemned.
Well, there's a lot of them on the list that need a lot of care, like the Sully, was it Sully?
I
No,
don't think it's been- I
Pulaski.
don't think
If
it's
I
been
may?
condemned.
Please.
A lot of buildings can be repurposed and rehab back into
Right.
service.
Yeah, I don't think.
That's
it's
old,
been
that's over 100 years
condemned.
old. That's got all the old, pipes covered with the pipe, the.
It's got
asbestos.
issues.
Yeah.
It's very expensive to redevelop,
Yeah.
yeah.
So don't forget, so is the Sibley building. That was
Right,
Yes.
and they,
Right.
right.
It can be done.
It can be done.
It's kind of like a Whitney Street situation, because we've heard that they wanted to put, that they were heading down the path of refurbishing the building and putting, specialty shops in the lower half, and then putting lofts and apartments.
Yep.
There was wind development.
Yeah, somebody
Yes.
had it,
Yes.
they, for some
The
reason,
city
they
wouldn't
never
allow
could
it.
make they couldn't make the numbers work.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that it's not gonna, I've seen other projects where it was near demolition and somebody came in and made it and rehabbed
I
it, so.
guess my question is, what type of apartments are those going to be? Are those going to be affordable to our residents?
Yeah, so there's no project right now, so I can't
No.
even speak to that, there's no project right now, but
So it's sitting there.
But when the city puts money into something like that, if there is city incentive, the
Some
city
goes
does
below
put,
income.
yeah, the city puts requirements on there for affordable units.
Not 100%, but a percentage.
Not 100%,
Right.
but some percentage of it,
Right.
yep, yep. So, that's if the city has money in it, or, some other incentive. So any other sites that you guys can think of that would be transformative? Now, we don't want to have a whole, we don't want to have 10. 2 is good, 2 is good, but is there any others?
1039 Lyle. It's a large warehouse that's set back
Okay.
on Lyle.
Okay.
So there's plenty of parking. It's a
Great.
big open space, ready
Okay.
for, a new use.
Okay.
Is that the one that used to be the steel
1039.
place?
Yeah, I have.
I'm not sure.
Where is it?
And,
It
Where
used-
along the corridor is that?
It is heading west on Lyle, south side of the street, before you get to Glide Street.
Okay.
Right near
961, right by the old, the cat
1039.
building,
1039.
1039.
Yeah.
Okay, so I
Well,
have it,
961, so it's close to
so
us.
let me ask you this question now.
coming up this way, yes.
Okay.
So,
It would
what do you
be-
guys, what is Lyle Otis's opinion about the whole Little Italy effort?
We're behind it. We want to expand it. We
Yep,
want to,
we're
you
good,
know,
we're good with Little Italy.
because we want
is
safer,
involved
we want the safer streets.
I have a question that I would ask Silvano this to his face is, what are you going to do with the people that already live there that are not Italian?
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, he has an answer for that.
And it's not just
It's not about
Italian.
that,
This is
yeah.
an inclusive project.
He's all
Yeah.
about inclusion.
Yeah.
It's, for him, it's more about a branding.
Mm-hmm.
It's a branding thing to bring the focus and attention to Lyle Avenue as something other than a used car, for used cars. It's supposed to be something,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and maybe it'll draw Italian businesses or Italian-owned
Well,
businesses.
that used to be the Italian area.
Right,
Yeah.
that's
way
why.
back at one
Right.
time.
Because
He's
this,
trying
yeah.
to recapture it. But yeah, I know what you mean, he said he has an example, that the model he's using is from, I believe it's like San Diego.
San Diego. Yep.
And there are Asian restaurants in it, and they're all different kinds of ethnic groups and
Yes.
ethnic restaurants and retail that are doing great, and the diversity is what makes it so special, and
Yes.
that's why he's using it for a model, because he wants diversity. He doesn't want it to be all Italian. He's just using that because it's got a historical reference.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is the 150th year celebrating the Italians in this area.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, he's even started putting up the flags of the American flag, the Italian flag, and then the flag of the business owner's country of origin.
Oh, okay.
So we're starting to see those. He's put that out of his own pocket.
Yeah, he's doing a lot out of his
Yeah.
own pocket. It's basically, for him, it's about, the diversity is what intrigues him about it. So I can see why he's doing like the country of origin.
Oh, yeah, no, it's
That's kinda
beautiful.
Sorry,
interesting. Yeah,
can I make a suggestion?
sure.
The entrance to the Lyle Otis neighborhood really starts at Lake and Lyle.
Yep.
And as you come down the corridor, I think those first 2 to 3 blocks, if you can help develop that,
Okay.
it'll snowball just like East Avenue did
Mhm.
10, 15 years
That's
ago.
some of the,
You guys
that's
agree?
some of the
Yes.
things Little
Yeah.
Italy is saying too. It's
Right.
like, let's start the gateway, the gateway into Little Italy, and like start to really get the
Yes.
But
momentum going.
we objected to that years ago, because when we sat down with the city planning years and years ago, they said, let's start Lyle and State, a little at a time,
Yeah.
and work our way all the way up Lyle Avenue. But he never did anything.
Right?
If they did anything, they redid down by State and Lyle a little, but they never went up.
It's kind of,
If
yeah.
you look at it, nothing has been done.
Well, again,
You know.
city planning can only do as much as, is like be a cheerleader and do, put it on a piece of paper and draw pictures about it and talk it up and work, and then pull together groups of people to try to build it up. But, yeah, it's not